What's up, guys? Kevin Cage here with another crypto update. Hope everybody's doing well, and let's dive into a bunch because it's been almost a week since my last video and I am back home. So, we're really just going to celebrate today. We're going to run through the price chart of XRP. We'll go through HBAR, Algo, XLM. We're going to look at other assets potentially for a follow the leader type of setup that we usually see each cycle. So I hope you guys enjoy. I'm back in Puerto Rico, and my dad actually started early with the surgery yesterday, so just glad he's doing well. And yeah, let's dive in, and then we're going to run through a bunch of news this month. Alright, so first up, we're going to look at several alts in this one, but we're going to start things off looking at the XRP monthly price chart. Bottom line, every single investor that has watched this channel that has had XRP in their portfolio should be up. So we were literally 50 cents in November, and we can see that we are up over 400%. So even today, over 400%, which is over 5x, 50 cents to over $2.50. We have XLM doing the same thing, so I have some XLM, nothing crazy compared to my XRP bag, but we can see this also rose almost 600%. Really just going from around 9 cents to today's price, we can see up over 450% or over a 5.5x. Next up, we have HBAR doing the same exact thing from about 4 cents or a little over 4 cents to the high is over 800%. And even measuring to today's price, we can see we're still up over 600% or over 7x. We also have Algo doing really well, so we can see the monthly RSI is challenging the previous highs that we've ever reached, and we've never seen Algo go into overbought where the momentum can really run. So we can see Algorand just under 11 cents in November, and we can see wicking to basically over 60 cents, so 470%. And if you guys watched my video from 9 days ago, we went through a bunch of different assets looking for that curl of the monthly RSI, because once it crosses the 50 line, things get very, very interesting. If it crosses 70, even better. So I ran through a bunch of different alts here. Alright, so let's go back to XRP. We're going to talk about alt season. I also want to address some FUD that I saw online by people uploading reels with false information. And the XRP price chart is looking good. This is the XRP US dollar price chart on Poloniex. I just didn't want to ruin my Bitstamp chart, but the Bitstamp is even more accurate. So as shared for years, we're going to find out if the world's longest fractal can play out for XRP to reach an all-time price following the Bitcoin fractal. Bitcoin on the weekly versus XRP on the 3-week. Alright, so first up, let's address some FUD that I saw, different reels online bashing XRP. So if you hate XRP, that's fine, but you have to acknowledge and you should be grateful for what Ripple did for the entire crypto space with the SEC. We've ranted about it enough these past few years, but what they did is a net positive for all of crypto. Now I've seen reels of people saying, well, if you bought XRP back in 2018 at 50 cents, 40 cents, you lost money to inflation. That's false. We made money, period. Obviously, it has to be realized, but even if you consider the average inflation rate to be 3.5% per year since back in 2018, XRP still outperformed inflation. The real return is still over 400%. And even if the average inflation rate was higher, say 7% from 2018 to 2024, the real return is still much higher, over 300%. And the funniest part is even if you factor in debasement of currency with inflation and say 11% per year from 2018 to 2024, you are still up almost 250% if your average was 40 cents. So if you see that nonsense online, that is false. Now, is there an opportunity cost for any asset when assets go up and your asset doesn't do anything? Absolutely. But the statement about losing money to inflation if you've held XRP is false. So I just want to congratulate every single holder out there for any asset that has gone up, especially the XRP community. You should celebrate. If your assets haven't gone up, your time will come if we get a traditional cycle in a normal alt season and the setup is there. We historically see asset rotations, and remember, over the past 12 to 18 months, there were plenty of alts, smaller caps, new projects, deep in projects that did really well. And meanwhile, the dinosaur coins that everybody makes fun of, it looks like it's their turn now, so congrats. So great to see XRP finally awake. I know everybody and their mom has been looking at this period of consolidation in a blast and looking at this period as well. What's different is this period of consolidation was way longer than this one. I know you guys remember me sharing looking at like 2 cups like this of previous cycles. This is just a sloppy example of 2 different cups, and then we blasted off. And we can see similarities, but clearly I couldn't time it whatsoever, but it looks like we're doing it all over again. So that is the hope that I'm looking for in the future, for XRP to draw major moves and all-time highs. And same thing for a bunch of alts, even those that haven't erupted to the same degree that others have. And not financial advice, but that is my hope each cycle for a variety of assets to play follow the leader in 2025. So we saw HBAR blast all the way back to its February 2022 high, even higher, and there's plenty of other assets that haven't erupted. Some have retraced, and some monthly RSI is lower. There are also examples of the momentum being much, much lower. And we know the biggest moves for any price charts can happen when the monthly RSI is over 70. So we know that XRP and XLM definitely have a high degree of correlation, so do HBAR, XLM, and Polkadot. I'm also surprised that Rose hasn't reached its previous swing high levels. We know that HBAR already reached that and surpassed it. And it's really exciting to see Bitcoin dominance beginning to crash, and it does look like alt season is here. The only scenario where it's not alt season is if we create one more high like we did back in 2020. And at least historically, if we get a big crash of Bitcoin dominance as Bitcoin continues to draw higher highs, alt season is here. So please be sure to watch my video from last month. You can type in Kevin Cage alt season explained. I go through this in detail. During the previous alt seasons, we can see as I drag my cursor, you can see my cursor here. Watch the cursor on the Bitcoin price chart. So Bitcoin dominance is crashing. What is Bitcoin doing? It is creating higher highs. Another bear market, and then what happens during the next crash? We can see Bitcoin dominance is crashing right here. During the same period, what's happening? Bitcoin is creating higher highs. And remember this chart that I shared back in October during the last two alt seasons is when XRP saw its highest return, so Bitcoin is creating higher highs. And yes, back here, before alt season even started, XRP still retraced 500%, but the biggest move was during the actual alt season. So alt season by definition I've shared and explained in detail in previous videos is when Bitcoin dominance is crashing each cycle, Bitcoin is creating higher highs, and alt season is the period where the highest majority of alts have a higher return than Bitcoin. Not every single alt, but a variety of alts. Alright, so back to the Bitcoin monthly price chart. For anybody that's watched this channel over the past 6+ months, we've been waiting for Bitcoin to draw its first major move, and it's here. It's a cycle. Some are long, some are short, but we see these liquidity cycles like clockwork, and the momentum of Bitcoin is drawing multiple cups, always creating higher highs. And I would love to see another cycle, another official alt season for all the people that have been in this market since 2021, because this can be a huge opportunity. Stay skeptical, even watching my videos, have a believe it when I see it mindset, but this is the opportunity that we have today. We've gone over what Raul Pell shared. He did a video a month ago that I watched, and he explained in detail his everything code explaining these liquidity cycles. I haven't seen a better explanation for the reason of liquidity entering the crypto asset class than what he's had, so let's kind of just run through bullet points to quickly summarize it. So long story short, we've shared this before, and he did a video that I last saw a month ago explaining this perfectly. So the United States labor force, the participation rate is going down. So there are less people in the workforce, therefore less GDP growth. So the GDP growth trend, the rate of growth is getting lower. And as the labor force is declining, the government is taking on more debt to offset the growth. So this is the business cycle or the debt refi cycle that all started back in 2008 when every central bank reset their interest rates to zero. And Bitcoin was coincidentally created in 2009, right around this time. So he does a really good job showing how the governments are resetting their debts every 3 to 5 years, so that's also why we see a 4-year cycle for Bitcoin. We can say it's the Bitcoin halving, we can say it's elections because stimulus years, but what if it's actually just these debt refi cycles that he's pointing out? It sure is correlated with the Bitcoin halving cycles and elections as well, as we can see price action for Bitcoin after elections, these black vertical lines. So the government is taking on debt, they're adding a lot of liquidity to service these debts. So the government is printing more money, they issue new debt to actually pay the interest off on the old debt. Whether that's using a central bank balance sheet or just creating liquidity globally like China. And he's shown on his charts, as Bitcoin is finding its cycle top, the government start withdrawing liquidity, and I don't think that's a coincidence. So long story short, there's a really convincing correlation with these liquidity cycles. When there is new liquidity added to the system, crypto, a bunch of things go up, and when they start withdrawing liquidity, that is usually the top of the crypto asset class before another bear market. And the Bitcoin price chart hasn't broken over $100,000 yet, so we're going to see how long we're going to range if we can maintain above the previous cycle top and run a lot higher, because if that's the case, we're getting a big cycle. I witnessed the last 2 bull runs. I have learned so much more over the past 3 years alone, so I'm very excited. And remember that nothing shared here is financial advice. This is my opinion, a guy that is super excited to see a bunch of assets wake up, seeing the portfolio explode back to life. And remember, anything can happen. If you are investing in crypto, make sure that you know that you can lose your money. If you're going for a 10x or a 50x return and you're not okay with potentially losing your investment, you shouldn't invest. And if you do, because we're all going to do whatever we want, just make sure that you're accountable for your own decisions. We'll see if we're right, we'll see if we're wrong. I am just happy to see the crypto asset class at another all-time high price because I've been talking about this for years. And I know that many of us all around the globe have been waiting and talking about the same thing. I remember in 2017, maybe it was January 2018, when my Uber driver was talking about XRP, I should have saw that as a topping signal. And I remember how many people flooded into crypto around May after alt season already ended. I know that Bitcoin and some alts still created one more high later in the year, but these were the biggest moves. So if I see Bitcoin dominance crash back to the lows, Bitcoin is creating higher highs. It looks like we're in another alt season. If I start seeing a bunch of people reaching out, then wanting to get into crypto after hearing about their friends and family making 5, 10, 50x returns, that's historically a sign to start taking profits and be careful. So we've waited years for this, guys. People are going to be taking profit whenever they want, but one thing is a must: to take some degree of profit whenever you see fit based on your time horizon, risk appetite, average entry price. How well have you DCA'd over the bear market? And now, this is the season where you should be plotting exit targets and taking some degree of profit for this cycle. I'll always be keeping some long-term exposure in assets that I believe in, but I am absolutely taking profit at some point in this cycle and trying to rotate. And also, I just put this tweet out. If you guys follow me on Twitter, make sure it's the official one with the check mark. There are a bunch of impersonators sending DMs. This is an absolute must-watch video for every single crypto investor. I'm sure not many people cared when I uploaded this 2 weeks ago, but this is an absolute must-watch. So I'll link this in the video description. You're going to walk away learning a bunch, and hopefully you're excited now seeing price action again and realizing, yes, you can make money in crypto. So what they offer right here with Count on Cheap is the ability to amend your previous crypto tax filings for up to 3 years. So if they actually do their analysis and realize that your cost basis wasn't accurate and you overpaid in taxes, 10K, 50,000, maybe even more, you can actually get a refund. And this isn't just for people that made money in crypto. This is for anybody. If you're sitting in drawdown or you have huge losses or opportunity for tax loss harvesting, proper tax loss harvesting, this is a must watch. So whether or not this is a fit for you, I wanted to put this on the radar. I use Coinly. You can use TaxBit, whatever you use with this platform. And I'm saying this again because a variety of assets are starting to wake up, even XRP, for holders that have 400,000 XRP at $2.50, boom, you already have a $1 million portfolio. And for those that plan to sell in the future, this is a must-have tool. Alright, so that'll be linked right in the YouTube video description. I'll also put the video right in the pinned comment for anybody interested. Let's run through a few more alts and we'll call it a day. So first up, we have Curve, an example of the monthly RSI rocketing past the 50 line, approaching the 34 EMA. We have other assets like Casper still below the 34 EMA, as you can see the price right there. Also similar to a left 0 or A0. We can see that monthly RSI is still pointing down though. A little price action and momentum change on the weekly and daily can obviously pop that up though. We also have DAG right here rising up to the previous swing highs up to this yellow moving average. This is the 50-month MA, and we got the strong cross of the monthly RSI. So I shared previously, a long time ago at this point, the weekly fair value gap up here. We'll see if we crush this in the future. We know that HBAR already closed its. Back to the monthly, we can see that Chili's looks like it's almost following behind, approaching the 50-month MA. We also have Velo on the weekly, so we can see holding above the 50-week moving average. 1, 2, 3, multiple points of support. I have my Moonboy targets. There are fair value gaps that are really high. This is one that I've been speculating on for a while. If you're afraid of anything going into zero, don't touch it. The biggest thing for gambling in microcaps when they have their turn in a cycle, I just like looking at the monthly RSI, and if they have room to run to even 70 or higher, that's what I look for. One of the best examples of the monthly RSI just absolutely blasting was Telcoin last cycle, so this is an example of the momentum just skyrocketing, being so low and going well over the purple, over 70. And this is an example on the monthly of a big run. It doesn't mean that every asset gets the same ROI, but just even going from here to the top, we can see that is over a 400x. So when I'm looking at high-risk microcaps or small caps, I'm looking for room to run. We just don't know if they actually run. Same thing with Check. We can see that monthly RSI tapping around 30, getting back out of oversold, and it could potentially run. This is one that I hold in the verified credentials or DID space. So not financial advice, and nothing is guaranteed in this space, but I definitely have my fair share of different small caps and microcaps. Same thing for MAV. We know that Coinbase Ventures is an investor. We haven't seen MAV listed on Coinbase just yet, so that would be awesome to see with that monthly RSI running. We have really high illiquidity wicks that Sui basically already approached. Different use case, but very interesting. Same thing for PAC. So if I go to the monthly time frame, we don't have data, unfortunately, so we'll just go down to the weekly. We can see weekly RSI coming up to 50, coming back down, drawing some waves. So I would love to see the weekly RSI this cycle get over 70 and really run. We actually did create an all-time price. So this did get over 8 cents. I think the higher that H-bar can get this cycle, the better it's going to be for other Hedera tokens. And we'll finish up with Casper, love it or hate it. So I was completely wrong about Casper Labs building enterprise apps. I thought that was going to be a big narrative for Casper. And with that, I was always looking at, during a bull run, market cap valuations of what Cardano even did. We haven't seen an alt season for Casper just yet, so anything's possible. I just want to see us get up to that 34 EMA. We break through 3 cents, get over the 50-week moving average. Then we can start being a bit more bullish. Close the 7-cent fair value gap we talked about for years. So we'll find out. Same thing for, other high caps, even Ethereum. I still expect Ethereum to go to an all-time high price if this is a normal cycle. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to be catching up on a bunch of news, so I'll do a bunch more videos this month now that I'm getting my time back. I'll go through a bunch more charts in detail on smaller time frames. Just wanted to do a big macro catch-up. So thanks so much for watching, guys. All links are in the video description, and I will catch you in the next video. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash the like button and let me know your thoughts down below. You can find all links to my crypto resources, including tools for charting, trading bots, wallets, portfolio trackers, and exclusive discounts right in my link tree in the video description. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.